Hey guys, how are you today? I am so excited to be joined by the amazing Michael Kurn, who has been able to give us a few minutes of his time today in between meetings and workouts, etc., etc. So for those of you who don't know, Michael is going to be one of the speakers at the event next week, Redefining Success. He is a TV presenter, an entrepreneur, and also an author of the amazing book, Desire, Dream and Vision. And next week at the event, we are having a raffle to raise money for Charity Water, and Michael is donating a signed copy of his awesome book to this event. And I have read this book, so, you know, it is pretty good. So, Michael, thank you so much for being here today.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
So for those people that don't know anything about you, do you want to just give them a sort of 60-second introduction to yourself?
For sure. So I'm very lucky. I get to basically talk for a living and get paid for it, which is quite cool. So sports broadcasting is my main thing. So I wanted to be a footballer growing up. Knees were a bit dodgy. Realised I wasn't going to play for England. I wasn't going to play in the Premier League. So I was like, how else can I get there? Did a bit of college radio, a bit of musical theatre. And then really lucky, the doors of presenting kind of opened and opportunities presented themselves, and kind of here I am 11, 12 years later, full of ups and downs, and it's been an incredible journey, and it's always one that is still challenging and still doors are closing, but then luckily another one opens. So yeah, it's been an interesting process, and obviously the Desire, Dream, Vision stuff is quite exciting. That's kind of been my philosophy for success. It's how I've done it. It was my blueprint, my kind of master plan, and it's been amazing to be able to share that with everyone and make it accessible to everyone, because there's a plan and a philosophy that anyone can implement to make their dreams come true. So yeah, it's a crazy life, can't complain, absolutely love it.
So we are super excited to interviewing you on the panel next week, so don't want to ask too many of the questions that we're going to be talking through next week, but yeah. If somebody said to you, like, in a nutshell, what does success mean to you today, what would your answer to that question be?
For me, I think it's waking up every day and just loving what you do. It doesn't matter what you do, but it has to be something that you love and you enjoy. And like, we're all different, right? Life would be the same and boring if we were all the same. But you know, if you can wake up every day and love what you do, I think happiness is the most important thing. If you can wake up with a smile on your face and whatever you go and do, whatever job it is, or if you could, like me, you can do a hobby that you get paid for, you know, that's the most important thing. Because there's that really cool quote from Will Smith, isn't it? That life isn't about the amount of breaths you take, it's the amount of moments you take your breath away. And you know, I learned quite young that life's too short. Lost my nan a few years back, and that kind of really made me think that at the end of the day, okay, work, but you've got to create some memories. You're only here once, they say. So yeah, happiness is the key thing for me.
And here's an interesting question that people keep asking me at the moment, so I'm going to throw it at you. What do you think your superpower is?
Superpower, I like that. I guess that's another way of defining like what your skill is, what are you good at. So I would say my superpower would be kind of communication, really. Like, I'm as a presenter, my massive thing that the most important skill of presenting is listening and being able to communicate. And I guess for me, I'm able to kind of pull people together and share stories. And you know, my business networking group I've got is I don't have the answers to everything, but I think if you can pull people together and communicate well, you can then discover the answers together. So I guess, yeah, communication would maybe be my superpower, although I'd quite like a Superman power or something where you could fly or do something crazy. That would be quite cool.
And I guess all of these things link together into sort of ultimately what's your legacy. So what do you see sort of like a way down the line? What is your goal? What is it that you're working towards? What gets you out of bed every day?
Do you know what? That's such an interesting question. And ironically, I was chatting to someone last week about this. And like, as human nature, apparently we've all got this urge inside us, whether we know it or not, to have like a statue named after us or like a road named in our honour. Apparently, like, it's a human nature thing. We all want this kind of recognition. And it was really interesting. So Desire, Dream, Vision's been a massive thing for me. Like, the front cover of the book hasn't got my face on it. It's kind of got those cartoons of a faceless kind of character, because for me, Desire, Dream, Vision is bigger than me. It's a philosophy and a plan that, you know, in 10, 15 years time, I want other people that have followed the plan going into schools and doing talks saying, this is my DDV. And I love the whole theory of your DDV as part of our kind of hashtag program. Like, So for me, I just want to leave something behind, not necessarily it's got my name on it, but I just want to leave something behind and have something that inspires people to follow their dreams. I'm really lucky. I've got one of the 11 FA Cup winners medals from 1976. I'm its current custodian. And for me, if it inspires one person the way that little bit of medal has inspired me, that's important. So I guess for me, my legacy is for desire, dream, vision, to become something and inspire as many people as possible.
Amazing. And so final question, it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week. Yeah. What have you got to say on this subject? Are you doing anything?
Yeah, so I'm a massive kind of advocate for mental well-being. I'm an ambassador for an amazing charity called Dare to Express. And I went to a dark place a few years back now, which was quite interesting, and I kind of feel quite blessed that I kind of went there because I know how to deal with that now. There's so many people that find themselves in a place where they're not too sure who to speak to, where to turn. I didn't turn anywhere, I just dealt with it myself, and then when I kind of got the other side, a friend pointed out this video called the Black Dog video by the World Health Organization, and it kind of just answered so many questions that I was kind of dealing with in my head. And I kind of just deal with everything with positivity, and at the minute I've just had an interesting email last week of a contract that I've been working on for 5 years has now decided not to renew next year, a little bit out of the blue. So that could easily put you in a place that you don't really want to be, and kind of the kind of floor pulled from underneath you, and you've got to kind of find a new way of making some money, or shaping and molding your career. But I just tend to deal with it with positivity, as hard as it is. That person that sent that email isn't at home losing sleep at night, worried about how you're going to put food on your table. So they're not sat at home worrying and not sleeping about it. So just try and be as positive as possible, and that's what I kind of advocate, that it is difficult, but there's over 7.6 billion people in the world. 7.6 billion people aren't going to hate you. So out of us fellow human beings, there's always someone out there that will listen, that won't judge. And sometimes the most important thing you can do is talk. Just reach out. There's loads of places. In the book I've got a list of contact numbers that people can kind of call if they're struggling. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that people won't judge, as hard as it feels, as dark as the days may seem. That there's always hope. There's always someone that's going to listen. There's always someone that isn't going to judge. So yeah, just if you are in a place that isn't great right now, just reach out or watch the Black Dog video from the World Health Organization on YouTube, and just find out what gets you through. For me, it's positivity and going to the gym. Don't get me wrong, we go to the gym because we want to feel good and look good, but for me it's kind of a mental kind of thing as well, of keeping the endorphins going and keeping yourself in the right place and the right state. Awesome.
Well, so excited to have you on the stage next week, and if you haven't got your ticket, make sure you grab one because they are running out fast. So looking forward, and have an amazing rest of the day. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate that you are super busy, and see you next week.
See you next week. See you guys.